So now I have the distinct pleasure to introduce someone who's going to help lead into a special announcement that we believe you're going to appreciate. To get us started, I'd like to bring back in and introduce our board chair and co-founder, Pat Livney. Pat is a successful business leader, being the chief executive officer of Loan Ecosystems Online. More importantly for today, he has dedicated his time, energy, and expertise to defeating CMT, having served in board and executive roles in organizations dedicated to ending CMT for over a decade and a half. Over that time, his work has done more to advance the cause of ending CMT than perhaps any other person. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Livney.
Keith, thank you so much. I could tell you all what I am seeing today from Dr. Sukow and Dr. Cleopa. That wasn't in existence 3 years ago. It is an incredible marrying of technology and knowledge. And not only can I see the end line or the goal line, I can smell it as I've been doing this for about 14 years. So I'm very, very excited and thank you. You all are our heroes and I speak for the CMT community. Right now, I want to introduce someone who's very special. He's a friend of mine, and it's my honor to introduce Peter deSilva. He is a board member of the CMTRF. I've known Peter for a decade and a half, and it's almost like a researcher, kind of like Keith. If I had to give you his CV, it'd be a two-day affair. But I'll give you some highlights of Peter as a successful businessman. He was CEO and chairman of United Missouri Bank. He was president of Scottrade. He was president of TD Ameritrade. And he is currently a fellow at Harvard Advanced Leadership Institute. Peter has joined our board over a year ago. He has thrown himself and his family into this endeavor. And I think when he makes this announcement, you'll understand why he's the perfect person to lead this effort. Peter?
Thank you, Pat, and thank you for all your commitment and your support of the CMT endeavor over so many years. And it's wonderful to be on the same team with you. So first, I want to thank Dr. Sukow as well and Dr. Cleopa for dedicating yourselves to helping us find treatments and cures for CMT. Without you, all the money in the world won't be helpful to us. So thank you so very much for what you're doing. As a CMTRF board member, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. It's a Saturday. It's a difficult day to ask folks to dedicate 8 or 9 hours, but you've all done it. And for that, we're extraordinarily grateful. In many respects, today kind of represents the start of a new era for CMT research and fundraising for CMT treatments and cures. It is indeed a seminal moment in the life of every patient who's been struggling with CMT. Since its founding, as you know, the CMTRF has been all about finding treatments and cures for CMT. We've raised about $5 million over the past 3 years, and these funds have gone directly to research and to find treatments and cures. As you can see from today's discussion, we are getting closer day by day, and the money has been extraordinarily well spent. You can rest assured that the CMTRF is very good stewards of the dollars that have been entrusted to the organization. At the risk of stating the obvious, this progress, these programs would not have been possible without the generosity of our amazing donors. And many of you in this room today have been a donor, or you've done a walk, or you've undertaken a bicycle race, whatever it might be. Everyone here has been supportive in their own way, and for that, we are grateful and humbled. So as you know, again, we are singularly focused on treatments and cures. It's about time that an organization like this takes this on. There have been, and there are, many wonderful organizations providing support to CMT, but none fully dedicated to finding treatments and cures, and that's what we're all about. It's been far too long. I got diagnosed with CMT almost 50 years ago, in fact, more than 50 years ago. And at the time, my doctor said, don't worry, there are going to be treatments and cures in the not too distant future. That was 50 years ago. It seems to me that it's time to get in front of this now. It seems to me it's time to solve this for this generation and for generations yet to come. There are 3 million of us around the world that suffer from CMT, with 150,000 roughly suffering here in the United States. Now, I'd like to say that not only can we do this or should we do this, we must do it. And you have to ask yourself the question, if not us, then who? And if not now, then when? So I've decided to make ending CMT a part of my legacy, along with Pat and Susan and the entire group at the CMT RF. Our scientific advisory board is world-class, and they are, as you saw this morning, driving advancements in our understanding and our knowledge of CMT. I am not going to sit by as I watch my own body deteriorate, which of course it is. In our family, we have folks who are in wheelchairs. We have those that are, maybe less affected, but I'm just not going to stand by. If I end up going to my grave without doing everything I can or could have to help solve CMT, it'll be my greatest regret. So I'm doubling down on CMT1A. And why 1A? Because it is the most prevalent form. The research seems to be moving in a very, very, very positive direction as well. But please, if you don't have 1A or you have another form of CMT, just know we're not closing the doors of the CMT-RF until we solve this entirely. And so don't feel left out. It's just we needed to start somewhere. This is the most prominent and dominant part of the disease system, and we're going to go after 1A in a big, 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 big way. So we have the plan, we have the organization, we have the researchers, we're getting closer to treatments and cures, but we do need funding in order to move this along. So I'm pleased to announce this morning that the board of the CMT-RF has set a bold, audacious goal to raise over $10 million over the next 3 years. That's right, $10 million. That's a huge number. But that being said, it will change the course of this disease. We're going to get this done. So our goal is to raise $10 million. So as of today, how are we doing? Well, we just launched this campaign in the last few weeks, and I'm so thrilled to announce that as of today, we have $3.3 million already committed towards our goal of 10 million. The generosity we are seeing is just unbelievable. And I think it's a combination of the research, of the organization, and of the good reports that we're seeing about CMT. So certainly I want to thank our current supporters of the campaign, including 100% of the board members and 100% of the CMT-RF staff. We're not going to ask others to do something we won't do ourselves, and you can rest assured of that. But I'd particularly like to thank the Stahl family. Kent, Michelle, and their 2 children, Hunter and Austin, have been there with us since the beginning. They've lent their time, their talent, and their treasure to the CMT Research Foundation, even in our earliest days. With their growing financial support, their optimism about having multiple treatments for CMT1A has grown as well. In fact, Thursday, they surprised all of us when they pledged to match every dollar raised for the CMT1A Endgame campaign between today and December 31st, 2021, up to $1 million. That's right, up to $1 million. We are so grateful to the Stahls to have them as our partner in this ambitious yet reachable endeavor. I hope you'll join us as well by supporting Endgame. So as we noted, $10 million is big, it's bold, it's audacious. It's clearly the most ambitious plan for CMT1A I've ever seen. Susan and Pat tell me the same, but we can do it with your help. So help us spread the word. Help us spread the word of hope. Help us spread the word that treatments and cures are on the way. Help us by being part of this campaign. It is the only way we're going to end this legacy called CMT. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peter. I know together we're going to get this done. Thank you for your support, for chairing this campaign and turning a dream into a reality. It's just so fantastic. As Peter said, this campaign is a gateway to all treatments for all types of CMT. We know, we've seen it happen in other diseases. When you open the when you find a treatment for one type, the floodgates open for the rest of the others. We heard Dr. Cleopas say that this type of technology that he was working on is relevant in the learnings to all types of others. So I want you to know we're committed to all types of CMT and just focusing on 1A as a subset of what we're doing to open those floodgates.